What's up guys? Today I am back at it with another book recommendation video. You guys are always requesting more book videos from me, which I love because I could just talk about books all day long. Thought it'd be fun to share some of my favorite books that I've read this year because obviously I still got half the year ahead of me, all right? So many good books in my future, but I also read so many good ones that I completely forgot about because it feels like so long ago. But before we get into my book recs, I have to shout out Everlane for sponsoring this portion of the video. I don't even have to tell you, you guys already know that I'm obsessed with Everlane, one of my absolute favorite clothing stores ever. I'm just so grateful to be able to partner with a brand that I truly love for the past couple of years. I think it's just the best. Makes my heart so happy. But I picked up some new pieces from Everlane for summer and I wanted to share these with you guys. First, we have this tank and I just love it because it's kind of like a hybrid between a t-shirt and a tank. It's kind of got that thick vibe, but I feel like it looks really cool. I'm into it. Hopefully you can see it. It kind of looks white on camera, but it is a yellow. I love wearing tops like these, kind of tied up like this, or even tucking it in. Hello, looks really cute with jeans, but I also have been loving wearing these on my daily walks. If you guys watch my ultimate summer guide video, you know I've been doing my daily midday walks. Loved it, had to get this also in a black color. I always go to Everlane for my basics. I have so many tanks and tees. Pretty much all of them in my wardrobe are from Everlane because really good quality, really good price. I can literally wear this from a daytime, going on my walks and then throwing on some jeans, a little heel, and we got a little dinner look. Next, I got this adorable little like baby doll, what am I saying? Baby doll tank. How cute is this? I honestly never thought I was gonna go back to the baby doll trend, but you know what? This one was just calling my name because I saw the vision. All right, I saw the vision. Obviously, you can wear this top just as it is. Normally, like with some high-waisted jeans, I think looks really cute. But you can also tuck the sleeves in like this, which is what I was initially kind of picturing when I saw this top because I like the versatility of my tops. Obviously, you guys know that I love things that I can get multiple wears out of and like multiple kind of looks. If you have like a strapless bra, if you're wearing that, you could easily tuck this into that bra like this, kind of like you would a sweatshirt tuck, which would also be really cute and give you kind of a little bit more shape. But you can also do what I do and just kind of twist it. And now you got a third top. You can also tuck this in if that little thing is not your jam. Make this tighter. I obviously just did that really quickly, but you can just play around with it. I love tops like this. Like get a little creative, a little bit more saucy, a little bit more shape to it. And you can obviously just leave the straps up too if you want to do that, especially if you're traveling and you don't want to pack so many things. This is a great top to wear during the daytime with the straps up. And then, hello, you can tuck the straps in, tie it up, and boom, you got yourself a night top. Okay, Alex also picked out a couple pieces, so I thought I would show these as well because you guys loved when I shared the guy stuff that he picked out over like Black Friday sales and stuff. So this is the first item that Alex picked out, these cargo joggers, and they also come in like a gray khaki color, which is also really cute. So I will link those as well below. We've got pockets. They look really comfy, really cute. And he also paired it with this top that's also Everlane. It says 100% human. He's had this for a while, but I feel like it looks really good together. So this is the first look. Ollie is also very obsessed with Alex's shorts that he got. So these are the sport shorts. They're made out of recycled nylon and they also have matching like the sport jacket, which is really cool. So these are the lighter color. We also got them in a darker color, so I'll show those next. Love these. They kind of like have swim trunk vibes, but not. You could also just wear these like going hiking, playing tennis, all of the things. Lastly, this is the same shorts, so the same sport shorts. This is the matching jacket. So this is, I think, the lighter blue. They also have a darker blue and then also the tan. So I will link all the colors down below just depending on what you want, but same thing. It has recycled nylon and it's really soft and comfy. You can obviously wear it open, zip it up. It looks like it has an extra pocket right here too. We love that. You can go hiking, throw your phone in there. I love this. This is so cute. As always, I will link all the pieces that I got in this haul down below along with my sizing for reference. With that, let's get into my book recs. Like I said, I read pretty much all of my books on my Kindle, so I don't have the physical cover to show you, but I will just pop it on screen here. So my first recommendation is one that I actually read. This is probably the most recent book that I've read from all that I've compiled on this list, and this is Swear on This Life by Renee Carlino. You may recognize this title if you watch my ultimate summer guide. I will link that above and below, but obviously I had to recommend it here because it is just It is a fire wreck. Dare I say this was like my favorite book I've read so far this year? I don't know, that's so hard. In this book, the main character, Evelyn, is completely blindsided when her best friend and roommate hands her the hottest, newest bestseller from this mysterious author that nobody's heard of. Once she starts reading the book, we also get those chapters of like the actual book, which is kind of fun. So we're kind of reading along with her. When she starts reading it, she starts to freak out essentially because she relates a little too much to this book, like identically. Turns out this mysterious, hot, unknown author is actually her childhood best friend, has gone through so much together, like so much trauma. They had really, really hard childhoods, especially her. This is essentially their life together, their childhood together, and it's actually told from her point of view, which was really interesting. They go through so much together, they fell in love, but they actually haven't spoken in like 12 years. So for most of the book, we don't know why they haven't spoken in all this long, like what actually happened to them, but we kind of learn along with her as she's reading through the chapters. It's heartbreaking at times. It gives you all the feels. You want them to meet up, but she doesn't want to meet up with him. She also has a boyfriend. It's a lot. But I just love these characters so much. There's so much depth to this story. I loved learning about their childhood. You get so much detail there. This was one of the few books that I read, and as soon as I finished it, I wanted to reread it all again because I was just in love with it. I didn't want it to end. Also, if you are interested in reading Swear in This Life, I chose it as my September book of the month for my virtual book club. I will link it down below if you want to check it out. We need to discuss it. Another book I absolutely loved this year was Before We Were Strangers, also by Renee Carlino. This is funny. I held this book off at the library so long. Like I kept pushing it off whenever it was ready for me because I just felt like I wasn't gonna like it, but I was so wrong. So it's the same as Swear in This Life in that we get the past and the present, but this one follows Matt and Grace's love story in the past as they were in college together, falling in love. And then we also get where they are now, which is 15 years later. They haven't spoken since college. We don't know why until we do, you know. But Matt actually sees Grace on the subway. He kind of chases after her, but she's already long gone. He has no idea how to find her. Once he saw her again, he just could not get her out of his mind. And once he's thinking about her, we get those past chapters of how they kind of met each other, fell in love, all that fun stuff. This book definitely had some twists that I did not see coming. It gave me so many feels. I love this story so much. If you typically don't think you will like romance books, or if you don't in general, just because they tend to be really cliche, over the top, super cheesy, I think you will really, really like this one. So definitely give it a chance if you are not a romance reader. I find that Renee Carlino's writing style is really, really similar to Colleen Hoover. So for my fellow cohorts, if you haven't given her books a chance yet, definitely check her out because the flow was just really, really seamless. It's one of those books that like you just, all of a sudden you blink and you're halfway done with the book. I also always go back and forth between which one I love more, Before We Were Strangers and Swear in This Life. I don't know. I just love them both. I don't know if I could choose. Another book I absolutely love reading this year was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And this author is really known for her historical fiction books that all take place like in a certain decade. And I'm pretty sure they're all in Los Angeles. I'm not positive. I've definitely talked about this book before, but if you haven't heard about it, Evelyn Hugo is this iconic Hollywood movie star when she was in her prime. And now that she's older, she's finally ready to tell her entire life story, have it published into this memoir. And she's really ready to tell like all of the good, bad, and ugly about her scandalous life, her 7 husbands, and just like what it was really like in Hollywood at that time. So she chose this unknown reporter named Monique. And at the beginning, Evelyn tells her, you know, she's gonna lay it all out there. And by the end of it, it will all make sense, but she's definitely gonna hate her. So that was also really intriguing to me. So again, with this book, we're given the present as Evelyn is older and sitting down to talk to this reporter, and then we get like the flashbacks to her past as she's going through her life and really like starting from the beginning, going all the way up into becoming a movie star. And I really liked how this book was laid out because you also get the news headlines as we're reading it, and it's cool to see how it progresses as she gets more and more famous and kind of what the tabloids would say about her versus what was actually going on in her life. There was so much that I didn't expect in this book, and I was so pleasantly surprised. I loved it so much. I loved all the twists. I loved learning about all the 7 husbands that she had and why. And I kept having to remind myself that Evelyn Hugo wasn't actually a real person. She felt like, this book felt like it could have been a real story. Now I just want to read more from her. So I just finished Malibu Rising, which is also really good. This next book, you guys, I I am unwell. I am unwell. I don't think I'm gonna ever recover from this book. This is Brightside by Kim Holden. First of all, this is a Kindle Unlimited book. Also, if you haven't started Kindle Unlimited yet and you just got a Kindle, you can get like a free month or two. So you definitely have to read it. But even if you don't have a Kindle, you guys, I have never bawled more in my life from a book. Choking, ugly cry. I was like, I need help. But Brightside is about a girl named Kate, and her best friend Gus has given her that nickname Brightside because she is just fiercely optimistic, always sees the bright side of a situation, is always happy, and she's just the epitome of someone who lives life to the fullest. Kate is by far the best personality of any female I've ever read in a book. She's like just definitely someone you'd want to be around and energy that you would want to emulate. So this is just kind of following the story of Kate's life as she embarks for college. She's normally from, I think, San Diego. She goes to college in Minnesota. It's just kind of about her life there. So it doesn't sound like super interesting, like there's anything crazy that happens. It's just kind of her life as she gets adjusted to college in Minnesota. But oh my God, I can't give anything else away, honestly. They start to drop like subtle hints in the beginning that there's something that we don't know, but it's a really slow burn until we get to figure out what that is. There's so many good reminders in this book. I want to reread this at least once a year, just purely for the reminder. Hopefully I won't like continually ugly choke cry every time I read it, but no promises. Comment below if you've read this book, because are you unwell as I am? I don't know. Piggybacking off of that one, I also read Gus by Kim Holden. This is technically the sequel to Brightside, but I won't give anything away, obviously. Like I said, Gus is her best friend that she grew up with in San Diego, so I thought it was gonna be the same story, which is different because they didn't live together, but this one's told from Gus's perspective, but it takes place like starting after Brightside ends, like the timeline continues after that book. So it's a completely different story, and I just love this one because in Brightside we get glimpses of Gus and his personality and his love for Kate, but I was left wanting more from Gus. So I'm really, really happy that we got a second book totally dedicated to him and his life as a rock star. And like the overall theme of this book is just losing yourself and learning to find yourself again. Gus is such a sweet character, and he has a very similar energy and personality to Kate, which is always just really refreshing. And also there's a third one in this series called Franco, I think, from one of his bandmates. I really want a book from Keller. I wonder if we're gonna get a book from the character Keller. One can only hope. It wouldn't be a Caitlin book rec video if I didn't recommend another Colleen Hoover book. The first book I actually read this year was a Colleen Hoover book. I know, shocking. But this one was Regretting You. I can't believe I read this year. It seems like so long ago. This one switches between the mom's point of view and her daughter Clara's, who she had when she was 16 years old. So this book's about their relationship and also just like her, like the mom not wanting her daughter to make the same mistakes that she did at her age. I gotta say, I had no idea where this book was going aside from that, like it was about their relationship, but so many good twists in this. I feel like Colleen always like hits us with a truth bomb. The loss of loved ones, betrayal, navigating that betrayal, young and repressed love. Like this one's got it all. I personally love going into books not really reading too much into the summaries because I don't like to give away the twist. Sometimes I give away the twist. So I feel like if you are, wanting to read any of my book recs, just like dive into it. Don't read anything else from it because I will never spoil anything for you. I definitely teared up quite a few times reading this as well because it just felt so raw and real, and it really picked up for me within like the last half of the book. So just give it a chance. It's kind of a slow burn for a while as you're trying to figure out what this book is about, where it's going, but once you hit that spot, flew through it. The last book I will include in this video, I have read so many other really, really good ones, you guys, that I've also given 5 stars, but I have to cap it. I have to cap it at this video because I will be here all day. You get me started on books and I won't stop. But the last book that I'm gonna include in this video is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and this is by V.E. Schwab, the first book I've ever read from this author, you guys. This is a fantasy book, which I never ever thought I would ever willingly pick up, but I kept seeing it all over like Book of the Month's website and just so many good reviews about this book. So Addie is a girl who is from the 1700s, and she kind of has her life all planned out for her. Her parents are putting her in an arranged marriage. She is very unhappy with that. She just wants to be free and independent. So I believe it's on her wedding night, she runs away, tries to make a deal with the darkness. So he gives her a life to live forever. She can never die. However, in this new version of her life, nobody remembers who she is. So as soon as she meets someone, if she like leaves the room room or they leave the room, she's faded from the memory. They don't remember her name, they don't remember her face, they do not remember meeting her, so they could turn away from her, turn back around and be like, hi, nice to meet you. Like, how annoying would that be? Oh my God. So for that reason, she can't get a job because they wouldn't even remember hiring her. So she can't really get money. So she has to kind of find really creative ways to get by. So her present is actually 300 years later in New York City. We're getting those chapters. We also get the past as she makes this deal with the devil in the 1700s, and we get that history from then until now. So it's a lot of details, a lot of historical things, but it is really cool to see how she progresses and how she's learned to live with this curse. 300 years later, while we're in the present in New York City, she's walking around, stumbles in this hidden bookstore and meets a guy that actually remembers her name. That's all I'll say about that, but it's so good. Really, really different from anything I've ever read. This would make such a great movie. Oh my God. It was really slow for me at first, I'm not gonna lie, because it's just so much like history. But what kept me going is just her overlying story of no one remembering her, but knowing someone is gonna remember her. And also her relationship with Luke the Darkness is really interesting. But I highly recommend checking this book out, especially if you're like me and normally don't see yourself dabbling into fantasy. This one was just so fun and different for me. Those are some of my favorite books that I've read this year. Again, I've read so many more that I could have included in this video, but it would be way too long. So if you guys want more videos like this or just book rec videos in general, let me know in the comments below. And if you have a certain theme that you want me to do, like my favorite romance or thrillers, anything like that. And don't forget to check out Everlane. I've linked all the pieces that I wore in this video along with my sizing in the description box below. You'll get you some goods so we can match. With that, I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you in my next one. Mwah!